How would that look, you think?
Is your hair silver or is it grey? Or is it like a dark, is it like a light purple? Yeah.
Yes, but if you called
Like
yourself the
grayish-purple?
gray color, if you called yourself the gray-haired league, that's not as appealing. However, if you changed it to silver, I feel like that would have better connotations to a public
Well,
eye.
I would think the purple-haired league would be even better because purple is considered a royal color.
Oh, that's good. That's good, actually. Yes.
This is how friendship is made among the Nipponese. They talk about about the hair league.
And then we beat racism.
And that was Genshin Asogi.
No, it was Phoenix Wright. Who do you think it was?
Who's Phoenix Wright?
I don't know. I just made that name up. That would never be a real name, of course.
Oh, no, absolutely not. A closed court. And there's Sholmes.
Wait.
And then there's Sholmes.
A close court. I heard my calling. What's up, gamers?
Good morning, my dear gamers.
Hello, everybody. KBTV on the Sun, and welcome back to the fourth case of the second grade Ace Attorney game. It's been a couple of weeks for us. Forgive us. Broke is the accused, and I feel like we didn't have enough time to really look into what actually happened. We have stuff, but like, I don't know. Our case is super flimsy, but that's usually the case when we start.
That's fine.
So
That just makes
par
us.
for the course.
That just makes this the in-character run of Great Ace Attorney,
We
where
have
we're just as clueless and scatterbrained as Ryunosuke himself. I stand by my assessment.
Well then, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here to conduct the fair and just trial of the defendant, Baruch van Zieks.
Fair, right? Uh-huh. I don't know
Well,
about that.
we can't be any worse than those folks across the pond in the USA.
Do they even have a court system yet at this? No, they probably do. It's probably not as- the judge is probably correct, actually.
Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready to begin?
The defense is ready, my lord. Oh, right.
You forgot he was here?
It's been 2 weeks. And my brain had a malfunction because I was expecting someone to voice Ryunosuke. I just came off of one of Mark's streams, so I was just like, oh wait, it's me today, hold on. My brain is trying to catch up, sorry.
The prosecution is more than ready.
Cousin Summer,
I've been wishing to see you in court again for so long. It feels... But I never picturing it happening like this. I never thought I'd be facing you behind the prosecution's bench.
the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, has been a scourge like no other, undermining Her Majesty's justice system. Today, we must uncover the truth behind this scourge.
In other words, this trial is going to be a lot more far-reaching than Inspector Gregson's murder.
The truths revealed by these proceedings may have unpredictable repercussions throughout the judiciary. Accordingly, they are to be conducted as a closed trial with no members of the public present. By Her Majesty's direct orders.
How will that work, my lord?
Wait a minute. Okay.
What?
When we go back to either Naruhodo or Kazuma, I have something to bring up.
Oh, okay.
The burden of all arbitration and education falls on my shoulders. Therefore, as you will see, the judge's bench shall remain vacant today.
Yeah, closed trial. What's with the audience in the background?
Members of the government. Yeah, there you go.
We put some cardboards out there to make you feel comfortable, so you wouldn't feel really lonely and isolated out here.
Could you put some cardboard journals in there instead? No, that's ridiculous.
That'd be weird. Come on, don't. Why?
If no members of the public are present, might I ask who is currently occupying the gallery, my lord?
Well, actually, Sasato just brought it up.
They are members of the judiciary, here to witness proceedings and ensure an equitable trial.
Members of the judiciary.
That's a lot of members.
Oh my, this is a very unusual trial already.
Is Eugen part of the judiciary? Because I know he's somewhere in the audience. I'm just like, hold up, are you sure? Wait.
He's hiding behind his cardboard cutout.
There is, of course, another unprecedented aspect to these proceedings on which I must elaborate. The counsels for the prosecution and defense are both aliens of Great Britain.
Yeah. Thanks
They
for pointing
came
that
from
out.
outer space.
I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. And as I stand here in this courtroom now, I'm quite certain. This is the reason why I had come to Britain.
Kazuma?
Very well. Let us commence proceedings. Prosecutor Asilgi, your opening statement, if you please.
Certainly, my lord. The incident took place on 1st November just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The location was a building of flats on Fresno Street on the outskirts of the city. The victim's body was discovered there in an old single-room rental property.
Yes, Inspector Tobias Gregson. A name known very well indeed to this court. Not least for his miraculous resolution of one of this country's grimmest cases 10 years ago. The Professor case.
How sure are you about the time of the incident?
Several witnesses on the street outside heard the gunshot, and all have reported the same time.
Yeah, that's what Gina told us too. There were a number of witnesses.
I have here a plan of the room. The victim was found curled up in one corner. It's believed that he was shot from the front at point-blank range and died instantly.
How has the range been determined?
There were scorch marks around the entry wound. Such marks are caused by the gunpowder used to fire the bullet. A powder hot enough to leave scorch marks is only ejected a few inches beyond the end of the barrel. In other words, it only happens when the target is at point-blank range.
I see, yes. Thank you for the detailed explanation, Counsel. Autopsy report. Inspector Gregson's autopsy report stating the death was instant, resulting from a bullet shot at close range.
The murder weapon was found lying beside the victim.
And have you managed to ascertain the owner of this firearm?
No, my lord, not conclusively.
Bravo, Kazuma-sama. For not trying to use the gun as evidence when it's proven...
Provenance?
Purveyance, okay.
For not trying to use the gun as evidence when its provenance can't be proven.
No, that's provenance. That's provenance.
Oh, I love English, yo. It's yeah, I'm also agree that it's probably provenance because there's a VEN there.
I'm not the English major here. You are, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, I just told you what it was, and you still
Well,
disagree with me.
Well, I already said what needed to be said. You understood what I said, so it's fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Things heating up on the defendant's bench.
Furthermore, my lord, as I've explained, the revolver was fired at extremely close range. The bullet passed through the victim and struck the wall behind it. There is a candelabra mounted on the wall, and the tip of one of the candles in it was found to have been blown off by the projectile.
We noticed that too, didn't we?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you for the thorough report, Consul. The setting of the crime is clear to me. You will submit the plan of the crime scene as evidence, please.
As you wish, my lord.
Crime scene floor plan. A plan of the small room in the building of the flats on Fresno Street where the body of the victim, Inspector Gregson, was found. I'm doing Vincent Price now instead. Is this Fresno Street room Inspector Gregson's private abode?
No, my lord. The room is rented to a Mr. Hugh Bone. Hugh Boone. I forgot how to pronounce it. Is it Bone or Boone?
I think, like it's a huge boon.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of the other thing for some odd reason. Anyway.
Rented
If
to a
that was the
Mr.
case, I think it would be Boner.
Rented to a Mr. Huge Boner.
But there is precious little furniture inside, and is generally in a poor state of repair.
So what on earth was Gregson even doing there?
Presumably he was investigating some case or other.
When the policeman was informed of the gunshot from the witnesses and rushed to the scene, he found only the deceased inspector and the accused standing alongside, holding the revolver. The attending officer arrested the accused on the spot.
So, the details of the case are clear.
In that case, the prosecution would like to call its first witness.
A name, please, Counsel.
Naturally, the accused himself.
Lord Van Zeeks?
As a prosecutor, he believes in the oath of office he's taken, and will be compelled to tell the truth.
What if you don't like that shit, Cousin?
Very well. Let the defendant take the witness stand.
Also, to answer your question, sucks to be them. So, witness, state your name and occupation for the court.
Brooke Van Zeeks, Old Bailey prosecutor.
I presume, Lord Von Zeeks, that you heard Prosecutor Asilgi's opening précis.
I did.
That was a word.
It sure was.
I have never
English.
seen that word. I have never seen this précis, whatever it is. Presses? Précis?
Précis. Look, I am old. They keep adding new words all the time to this fangled language. I can't keep up with the kids these days with their YOLOs and their what mates.
My lord, I hate to tell you this, but YOLO is at least a decade old.
As I said, I can't keep up with these kids these days. It is alleged that you were found at the scene of the crime, and that you were arrested by the arriving police officer. Can you confirm this?
Yes, my lord.
Then I'm sure the court would like to hear you explain some things away. Namely, why you were there in the room on Fresno Street at the time in question. And what exactly took place?
I intend to explain away nothing. I will simply tell the truth.
I must say, Lord Von Zeeks, I never imagined this day would come. Or rather, I didn't want to imagine it would come. But since you become known as the Reaper, a part of me has been dreading it. Your formal testimony, then, witness.
The facts of the incident.
I was investigating Gregson, and my inquiries had led me to that address. When I first entered the room that day, it was dark inside and I saw no one. A moment later, I heard the gunshot. I spun around and saw the revolver on the floor. Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me.
He just appeared. Okay.
I mean, with the evidence we have so far, I can believe that.
That testimony was the whole truth?
It was.
So, you heard a shot being fired in a room with no living occupants. And moments later, a corpse somehow appeared before your eyes. Is that it? You're right, you haven't explained away anything. In fact, that would barely qualify as an excuse.
I thought you were my mute apprentice. Yet it turns out you have a way with words, Prosecutor Osogi.
It would appear to be a singular tale indeed.
Singular isn't the word. It's laughable.
What's got into Kazuma? He's not behaving like himself at all.
No, this is pretty standard, actually.
Very well, then. Counsel, you may begin your cross-examination.
This is about on par with when he eviscerated Ouchie, I mean...
Ryunosuke was the accused and probably had his Google eyes on, so he didn't see any of it. Oh, there's nothing wrong here. Everything's fine.
I mean, in fairness, Ouchie's a jerk.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me that Van Seeks isn't?
I like Van
Look,
Seeks better than...
Van Seeks is complicated, okay? He's complicated. Ouchie is one note.
I mean, Louis got a point there. But anyway, yes, my lord. I'm going to save us the trouble, and we have to press everything.
I mean, that very first statement was just like, okay, why were you doing that?
Because I was.
So, and okay, a little bit more than that, sir. You were investigating the inspector. What on earth for? Oh my god, please don't do this. No!
I'm not at liberty to say.
Sorry?
I'd identified a distinct possibility that Gregson was involved in a case I was investigating. Regrettably, though, he was killed before I could secure the proof I needed.
Is the court to understand, then, that on the day in question you followed the victim to the scene?
No. I was privy to his movements in advance.
How?
I stole into his office in the yard and consulted his diary. The address on Fresno Street was noted in the 5 p.m. entry.
He brought his diary to work?
You illegally entered the man's office. In Japan, that alone will constitute a very serious offense.
Well, furthermore, reading at someone's diary, that's a penalty punishable by death. You don't go reading other people's diaries.
Your Honor, please. It's not as bad as playing League of Legends. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I know some people who are quite nice who play League of Legends. But anyways, yes, breaking and entering is also quite a crime here in Great Britain, I assure you. Is that not the case, Lord Von Zeeks?
I was aware of the possible consequences.
So in summary, you were investigating the victim. And yet, you refuse to tell the court why. I didn't realize British prosecutors enjoyed such freedom to choose what to divulge under oath.
Why did I ever think I could defend this man?
Why did you?
Because then there wouldn't be a game.
Have you ever been to the address before?
No, never. I only learnt of the place as a result of my investigations into Gregson's activities. There was no light inside when I entered, so it was all but impossible to make out anything.
But at 5 p.m., the sun would only just have gone down. It would still have been reasonably light outside.
Naruhodo, you've been to the place. Do you remember how crappy it was?
The room has a window, but it was boarded shut. Very little light found its way into the room from outside, so it was extremely murky inside. I wouldn't have noticed if the victim was already lying on the floor.
There was no artificial light in the room, you say? You're quite sure?
I'm quite sure that the part of the room where the body was found was very dark.
I mean, pull up the map that you gave us, Asogi, because it's pretty obvious why he didn't see the body.
Wait, I don't remember. Pull up the map again.
Actually, let's look at the new stuff we got. Give me a minute.
What a nice
coroner.
autopsy report.
The coroner? The name?
Maria Gori?
Huh. Scorch marks. Okay, not
Wait,
too
who's
crazy.
Who's Maria Gori?
I don't know. I'm
Okay.
curious.
Oh, what? It showed it earlier! Gosh dang it. Okay, well, see, look where the doorknob is.
Uh-huh.
If you were to open that, it would swing on
way,
the
right?
hinges by the right. Yeah,
we'll go
so
this
if you were to
way,
open
right?
the door, and if you didn't go into the room very far, you couldn't
Go
see
right,
the body
you see
because
it.
the door would be covering it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. We read this line, right? This line was read?
Yeah. I have a feeling there was a small oil lamp burning on the desk, though I couldn't say for certain.
Look, Miss Naruhodo.
Oh, we're gonna look at the map anyway!
There it is! There's my diagram of the door opening.
There's a small desk in the room, just here.
Yeah, I remember. And there was an oil lamp on it, as well as the framed photograph.
When I entered the room, I closed the door behind me and started towards the desk to investigate.
Oh.
And what did you find?
Diddly. Nothing. I never actually reached the desk.
Hold it! So, who fired the gun?
I have no idea. I didn't see anybody else in the room.
But you say it was very dark in there.
Yes, that's right. All I can tell you is I didn't sense another's presence.
Then could it be
No, it's not a ghost.
that the gunshot actually originated from somewhere outside the room?
Oh wait, that's actually a reasonable assumption. Oh, well, no. Now I feel foolish. Alright. No, that's out of the question.
Oh. I felt smart for a moment.
Without doubt, the sound emanated from inside the room. I could smell the gunpowder.
Ugh. This is going from bad to worse.
And you say that's the point at which you noticed the revolver on the floor.
Correct. And I foolishly picked it up. That was carelessness on my part.
This is how Rio and Baroque become best friends. They pick up guns when they shouldn't be.
In fairness, Baroque is always wearing gloves, so if the police hadn't gone there right now, there's no way they would have tied it back to Baroque if he left.
I don't think they take fingerprints yet in this era.
Oh.
Or at least in this Ace Attorney era, they don't do fingerprints.
Well, if Baroque was in the modern day, he's always...
Presumably then, the gunshot you heard came from the firearm that you somewhat hastily took into your hands.
In point of fact, my lord, I believe it did not.
What?
The barrel of the revolver I picked up was cold. There was no smell of spent powder.
Oh, the baby slaps her back. But then, where on earth is the gun that was fired?
Whilst I would like to oblige you with an answer, I'm afraid I can't. And I too would dearly like to know that.
Ugh. Well, that's good to know. The gun was cold that he picked up. Interesting.
As Lieutenant Holder, we learned that Mr. Van Zeke can sense presences, which means he's a ninja.
He's a what? Really?
Yeah, sure, why not?
A man, you say? One of the witnesses, I presume.
That's right, one of the street merchants working on Fresno Street.
Who are these merchants?
A number of them had set up their stalls directly beneath the boarded window of the crime scene. A match seller, a newsmonger, and a peddler. They've all given statements saying they heard the gunshot.
A newsmonger, is it? Well then, it seems like it's time for... Oh, wait, I'm still in prison,
Sir,
never mind!
You're in jail, hold on. And also the other side of the pond. What are you doing over here?
I live rent-free in Mr. Naruhodo's mind, even though he's never met me!
And without the thought of danger, they ran inside to see what had happened.
Yes, she just told us about that yesterday, didn't she?
They burst through the door with some force, it would seem.
They did. And almost gave me a heart attack in the process.
But you're supposed to be the Reaper.
Hey man, jump scare's a jump scare.
Yeah.
The first man to come in immediately noticed the revolver in my hand and fled.
The policeman patrolling on Fresno Street heard the commotion, and was able to arrest the accused shortly after the incident occurred.
Anyway, the man's scream drew my attention in that direction.
Hold it! What do you mean by that? In what way did the body appear?
I honestly can't explain it, but it's the truth. As far as I was concerned, the body hadn't been there until that point, and then suddenly, there it was.
Sir,
Is there a hole in the ceiling?
sir, this is not gonna help our case. Did you perhaps hear the sound of the victim falling to the ground just beforehand?
At that moment, what I heard was the sound of the door flying open and the scream of the man who came inside first. Nothing more.
I see.
After the man fled, I examined the body. I was stunned to find that it was Gregson.
Most curious circumstances indeed.
How the inspector was killed, or how his body seemed to appear out of nowhere, I have no idea.
Objection. Surely the court has heard enough.
Uh-oh.
My lord, the cross-examination has clearly revealed that the accused, Baroque Van Zeeks, is lying on multiple fronts.
Huh? What is that supposed to mean?
Good gracious, Counsel.
You heard the line you said.
Is this my line? I think it's my line. I'm not quite sure.
I don't know whose line this is. I legitimately do not know.
Well, there's this big show I'm starting to create called Whose Line Is It Anyway? The defendant is lying, you say?
It's been a while since I've heard this track. Man.
In this testimony just now, he claims that he failed to notice the victim's body because the room was dark.
That's correct.
No, that's impossible. As proven by this candelabra.
How does that prove anything?
If you examine
Oopsies.
Oh,
Need to
An
turn
actual
that T
typo.
upside down. Need to
that's
turn
a
the T upside
genuine
down.
typo.
Actual
It's
typo.
okay. If you're up late and you're having to do all this, they're gonna look similar.
No,
so
it's fine, but also
is okay.
God.
We found a genuine typo. Oh,
Oh, shit.
oh.
And I'm super tired, and even I figured that one out. Okay. You examine the tip of a long candle. You can see it has been blown off by a powerful impact.
And we're just committing to it. Okay. all right.
Yep.
Katsu, are you quite alright? I think you meant to say... Whatever. One would assume that the projectile from the firearm passed through the victim and struck the candle.
The problem comes when you consider two candles, which are clearly of a different length.
Yes, I can see that only that candle that appears to have been struck by the bullet is long.
We could reasonably... Sorry, yawn mid-talk.
Hello.
We could reasonably expect someone to have lit all three candles together. Which begs the question of, why only one has ended up longer than the others?
That must be because that particular candle was extinguished when the others were still burning. Oh,
That's right. When the candle was hit by the bullet, it obviously went out. But the other two candles would have still been burning. So the fact is, the victim's body would have been illuminated by the light still thrown by the candelabra. And the accused's claim of that they couldn't see the body clearly contradicts those facts. And now to the next lie.
There's more? Same brain cell, then. Same brain cell.
same hat.
Neither of us are wearing hats right now.
Yeah, okay, well, we're gonna have to stop here because apparently there was more, and we're out of time, so we'll just have to talk about this in the next video. See you all then.